Hi everyone, my name is Charlie and this is Charlie and welcome to It's a Charlie Thing. The first in a hopefully new adventure for me and Charlie as we head into new territories of which we've been talking about for a while.
A
Anyway,
long time.
a long time. I won't be dressed this smartly all of the time. I'm just trying to make the most of this jacket.
Thing. I think it looks amazing.
Yeah, we ain't. I feel a bit like, like old-fashioned TV host.
I
You
feel
know,
like maroon is your definitely your colour.
like Michael Parkinson with Lily Savage, that sort of thing. I realised that I
Oh, I
just
know
likened you to a
now.
drag queen.
Sorry?
I just likened you to a drag queen.
I'd be happy for that. I'd embrace that. I do not take that as an insult at all. I find that fully a compliment. If I could
Fantastic.
only be as fabulous as any of the drag queens I watch, I would be, half as pleased.
Well, that's perfect then. So yeah, how are you?
I'm good. Yes, I'm good. It's the end of the week. Feeling slightly tired, as I have done all week. But
Yeah,
all right
that's like the perpetual state for Charlie's is we're just like
at the
tired.
moment.
Yeah, like
Best foot forward.
yeah, chronic fatigue.
Oh, yeah, why not? It's
Um,
actually true though.
yeah, I know, that's the thing. That is the Charlie thing of the week, chronic fatigue.
It's serious.
That's it, end of the video, goodbye.
Yeah, goodbye, that's it done.
What can they expect from us today?
It's like an introduction to our channel. I think we don't really do we need a little bit of an natter? And then just a book haul.
I generally think we're going to be talking anyway. I don't think they can actually stop us from talking. Like,
Nothing can stop us from talking, Charlie.
we were meant to be here recording, instead we were just chatting for an hour. So,
By accident. I don't know
by
how it
accident.
happened.
Yeah, so it's just who we are. We are going to be sharing a haul today, a nice little book haul to get people inveigled into who we are, our book tastes, and all of these were purchased or, given to us this weekend, this past weekend when we went to a Booktube meetup, and we thought, do you know what? That might be a great way of getting people to know who we are outside of Charlie and Charlie. I mean, I think most people might know us now.
Yeah, yeah.
We,
If
we
you
always,
subscribe to one, I feel like if you subscribe to one, you know the other.
yeah, I mean, it's not always the case. Like, I know this personally.
They've got to know. So
They gotta
if they
learn.
don't know.
They gotta learn. As we say, two Charlies are better than one.
Yeah,
You need
exactly.
the
This is what it
joy,
is.
you need the darkness. You
And
know,
vice versa, because I often think, as I keep saying, that you are more joyful than you think, and I'm really darker than people think. So
yeah, I think it's just the personalities that we bring. The whole reason behind doing this channel is because Charlie and I have realized over time that we just very much enjoy talking to each
that's
other, and
yeah.
like we want to share our own twisted version of the world with everybody.
I feel like we have some really good chats every week as well about various different topics. So that's what this kind of channel is a place to be. So kind of and
Yeah,
like get everyone to like I know like because obviously we're going to do a podcast, but with the YouTube, especially with people that will be watching us on YouTube, because as well, we just like the conversation as well.
yeah.
So it's like a place to
A
bring
very
everyone into it.
yeah, it's like a very relaxed environment where
It
we're
wouldn't be
going.
anything less.
Yeah, it's more relaxed than BookTube. It's less not. I'm using the
Pressure.
word prescriptive a lot. Yeah, it's yeah.
It's just our own channel. It's just our own Charliness. It's all the
Yeah.
Charliness. It's like it's all the Charliness just mushed together. It is.
It's just like it's like
I
it's like
personally think Charlie's rule. So
yeah, you're like putting us through a juicer. Like we've been
I
in the
mean,
yeah, we've been in the NutriBlend. This is a smoothie. We
there's
are
nothing smooth about this. We like the lumpy kind of smoothie.
yeah with the smoothie with the roughage in.
Yeah,
Yeah, you're the
we're
spinach
good
and
for
the
you. We're good
strawberry
for you. Do you know what? Everyone needs a bit of joy and sparkles and craziness in their life.
instead they got Charlie.
Yeah,
Way, I think that that's a brilliant introduction to who we are.
I
You
agree.
know, you try and inspire people, and I immediately strike you down. I think we'll get into this haul. We'll
Yeah,
talk
let's do it.
about Bath and Bristol and
Yeah.
everything. If you did not know, if you have not been on YouTube or Booktube in the last week, Katie over at Books and Things led a Booktuber meetup in Bath and Bristol this past weekend, and
Ben led the Bristol element, but yeah.
Ben of Ben Reads Good helped to curate all of the shops and the art gallery that we went to in Bristol. But we'll talk about that a bit more as we go on. Charlie and I actually chose to meet on the Friday, and
There's a big group of us.
yeah, there were a group of people who,
Not big.
well, what, 6 people, 7 people? I don't know. There were about half a dozen people. We went into a pub in Bath. We really scared the darn Southerners. I found out that they have more cider than you usually get at a bar in the north, in the south, and got incredibly confused. And so went for the complete plebeian Thatcher's gold, and I still haven't lived that down. So anyway, Charlie, what was the first book that you got in Bath?
The first book I got in Bath.
Well, which one's the first one you want to talk about?
I'll show you the first. We did a book swap. So the
I know.
girls,
I've got one here from a swap too.
yeah, yes, you do because I know. So there were 6 of us staying in a little place that the lovely Jack from Spread Book Joy she'd organised for us, and we all brought along some books, and we swapped the books that I acquired. The lovely Ange from Ange's Book Chatter, who we'll link in the description, anyone we talk about, put 2 books in because she said they belonged together, which is An Elderly Lady is Up to No Good by Helen Tursten, translated by Marlene Delagy, I think that's correct. And then we've got the short stories, which is An Elderly Lady Must Not Be Crossed. I love that title so much. And that's, again, this is translated by the same person, Marlene Delagy. So yes, I'm very excited for these. I think this is like cozy crime, I'm guessing.
Yeah,
I
I
don't know.
really want you to read them and let me know your thoughts because, like,
Yeah, I've heard about this one. I've never heard about this one.
well, it's just, me and elderly people in fiction.
Yeah, because it says, but we're following Maud, who's an 88-year-old woman with no family and friends. And it says, and no qualms about a little murder. This
Yeah,
funny little irreverent story collection by Helen Tursten, author of the Irene Huss Investigations, keeps you laughing all the way to the retirement home.
it sounds so reminiscent of the series I read a few years ago, which was Escape from Sunset Grove, which were crime novels set within this retirement community. So I'm very eager for you to read them. Let me know your thoughts, and then I can decide whether I want to read them, which I probably do anyway, because I enjoy reading about elderly people in fiction.
And I really love incidentally, I mean, I know I've got very big hands, but I love how small the actual physicality of the book is.
Yeah, there is something to be said for a book that you can fit in your pocket. You gave me a book, which I think that we talked about ages ago, and then me being me just forgot about it. But that is The Wood at Midwinter by Susanna Clarke, and I have already read this.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, so you gave me this book on Friday, obviously, and then because I don't sleep when I'm away, I woke up one morning and where we were staying, the heating had stopped working. So I went into the living area, closed all the doors, switched on their electric heater that they were keeping there, got under some blankets, and read this book. It's incredibly short. It is just one short story that is being thoroughly illustrated. I have enjoyed the 2 novels that I've read by Susanna Clarke, Piranesi and the
Strange case of.
yeah, Jonathan Strange and Mr. Norrell. I didn't like it.
We didn't like the short story.
I really enjoyed the start, and I thought this is thoroughly Christmassy and festive, and was really enjoying nestling down with this book. And then it felt like the ending, just like it was like, oh, I'm done now, bye. Yeah, it was a definite damp scribbling ending, but it is a beautiful object.
Yeah, I agree.
The illustrations are fantastic. This copper foiling on the front is great. It would make a delightful stocking filler. And I think if you are a fan of Susanna Clarke's prose, then you will enjoy that. But for me, it starts a fairy tale, but it doesn't end a fairy tale.
I really didn't like it either. I think it was really, to me, it felt very boring. Sorry.
Yeah, so it's this girl who I think it's Meredith, and she has an affinity for animals, and she heads out into the forest, and all she really wants is a child, and the forest gives her this vision that she's going to take on this bear as a child. And maybe that's where you're supposed to see what the ending's going to be, and you understand that the character is a saint, so it can only end horribly for her, but it just wasn't for me, unfortunately. But I'm going to keep the book, I think.
It is very beautiful. Like, I did
Yeah.
love the illustrations. I was very drawn to it, but I did nearly keep it myself because obviously I was the one that gave it to you. But I was like, if I'm not going to read it again, maybe you would read it again, though.
I think I would read it again.
Yeah, I can imagine you doing that.
And maybe it is something I'll get something out of on another read, but
Exactly, yeah.
I
Depending on
didn't like it this time. Anyway, what was your next acquisition?
It is a poetry like pamphlet thing by Tilted Axis Press. I spotted on the shelves in Toppings, I believe. Yes, and it's Deviant Disciples in Indonesian Women Poets, edited by Itan Paramatiditya. And yeah, it's just some poems, I believe. I think it's got like an introduction. I don't know who the introduction was, probably obviously by the author, by Itan. But yeah, so yeah, it's just some poetry. Some poetry.
I wish
But
I'd seen that.
I could only spot this one copy of this, but there were several Tilted Access Press
Yeah, I
collections, I would say, on the shelves.
I went back to
But
Toppings on Monday, as I'll talk
it
about
was in the
tomorrow.
basement,
Ah, I didn't go
or
that
like
far.
somewhere as towards the
Yeah,
basement.
I found a few books there on the Monday, which I'll talk about, but I didn't go any further once I got three because I literally could have spent a very long time in there.
Go back when I've got more room on my shelves.
We'll have to go back on a weekday. We'll arrange something. We'll get it sorted. Anyway, I also got a book from Toppings, which I didn't actually intend to get, and Charlie had to buy for me because I did not have my wallet with me. I went in, and I always go into these places knowing what authors I'm looking for. So I know I'm looking for Barbara Pym, I'm looking for Mary Stewart, I'm looking for Benjamin Myers. They're my three authors that I'm seeking out all the time at the moment. And I saw a
Yeah.
book on the shelf that I didn't have, and I went to put it back on the shelf, and this woman barged into me so that I could no longer reach it. And I was like, well, I guess I'm buying it then. And that book is A Glass.
Barged into you? What happened with her barging into
I
you?
thought I told you that story.
Can't remember. I was
Yes,
very tired at the beginning of the
so
week.
literally, I've got this book, A Glass of Blessings by Barbara Pym. I read the blurb, which is Wilmot Forsyth, this well-dressed, suitably husbanded, good-looking, and fairly young. She's very bored, and her husband Rodney is overweight and balding. And then it sounds like, it doesn't say whether she has an affair, but she does get attracted to another man. And I read it and I thought, I'll put it back on the shelf because I've got a few Barbara Pym that I haven't read yet. I don't
You're going
necessarily
to
need
save
it.
it.
I was going to wait,
Yeah.
yeah. So I go to put it back on the shelf, and this person barges into me, and I'm just like, oh well, I guess I'm buying it then because I
That's
could
a
not go
sign from
back
the
to the shelf.
universe. You're taking it as a sign from the universe that
Yeah,
that energy knocking you off to try and put it back was a sign to
yeah,
keep it.
I was taking it as a sign from the universe, but maybe it was also a sign of the universe that somebody had just knocked my wing mirror off my car. I don't know.
It might have been.
There we go. That one. So what's your next one?
Another poetry collection. You're gonna see. You're gonna see. I got three
Yeah, it's
poetry collections.
a trend.
Um, so this is the Cat Prince and Other Poems by Michael Pedersen. Michael Pedersen, if you can see from behind my shelves, is the author of Muckle Flugger. I mentioned this in my latest video. So obviously I loved that, but I spotted Michael Pedersen poetry collection and was like, I knew he was a poet previously, and I was like, and as you can see, it was from which shop was it? It's from Bristol. It was the £5 shop. What do we call it?
Oh, I don't know what it was called.
It was the £5 shop.
Yeah, there was a
But
yeah.
I can't remember. It was very reasonably priced bookshops. There is a name for it, but I can't literally remember it. I will put a link to any bookshops you mentioned in the description with links to their websites if there is any.
So
Anyway, I'm very excited for it.
the next book I also bought in Bristol, but at a different shop, and is a poet who's now written a novel, and that is Pity by Andrew Macmillan. I again did not plan on buying this book. I picked it up off the shelf. I went around to all of the people whose opinions I trust, and they were all like, "No, I'm not ready. You'll have to read it." It's
Oh
like,
yeah, because
so I got it. I know that it's a pit village, and you have like this father-son divide because one is young and queer and all of that. My good friend Joy Winkler, who is a beta reader for most of my books, started my writers group. We have coffee every week. She used to do events with Andrew Macmillan's father, Ian Macmillan, and there's a whole story I have there about them being in a car together and all that fun stuff that I won't share here. And I'll have it, and I'm quite glad it's rather short.
that's
Um,
good. That's a good way to sample though. If there's like
well, I've
not
really
much.
enjoyed his poetry in the past, and so I am looking forward to this.
I feel
Yeah.
like it looks like a book that Bob would have read if Bob would have
I should have checked whether
read
Bob had read it. But anyway, I'm thinking of January for this one because it's nice and short.
it. Yeah, you do like your short books in January.
We know
Um,
this.
yes, we do.
It's a Charlie
Um,
thing.
it is a ton, isn't it? On Saturday, obviously, in Bath. They have the Persephone bookshop. I was not planning on picking up anything from the Persephone bookshop because generally, when I have Persephone books, I'm a terrible person. I don't often end up reading the books. I end up on hoarding them because if anything sits on my shelves for too long, this is one of my Charlie things. I end up feeling like been there too long. I need to unhaul it. This is just who I am. I'm a terrible person. That's how I keep. I guess that's how I keep my TBR down. To be fair, but I did pick one up, and it is "The Children Who Lived in a Barn" by Eleanor Graham. It is a children's classic, I believe, about something about a barn. It says Miss Durden arrived shortly after with a basket over her arm. It was her first visit to the barn, and she looked about her with a good deal of curiosity. So this is the place, she said. Just fancy. So yes, the barn, there's children, it's a family story. Hopefully it'll be good. One of the beautiful things about Persephone's is books they have, even though they have the grey dust jackets, they have beautiful, beautiful end papers that always come with these matching bookmarks.
Yeah. Persephone is one of the shops that I'd hoped to revisit on Monday, but I ended up with a lot of books and didn't go back. But I was glad to go there because I have a volunteer who's very much wanted to visit that shop for a while. My next book came from the art gallery, and they had a few, they had a little bookshop. We explored there before heading into the gallery proper, and I found a Muriel Spark, which is apparently her best and creepiest novel. And that is The Driver's Seat. Apart from that, I know nothing about it. But again, we've got a rather short book, we've got a small book, and I don't
I
know.
love those Penguin Archive, the red.
Yeah.
I can't remember the names of the edition, the Penguin Archive ones.
No, you are
I just love
correct.
those editions.
No, I was just saying you are correct. It's the Penguin Archive.
Yeah, I just love all those editions. I think they look super. I just like them. I like the covers.
I like Muriel Spark. I've read a few of hers. She's definitely an author whose works I want to read all of them. Somebody I follow on Instagram has just written a biography of her that I'm looking forward to. I find her humorous. What I find odd is how much she manages to pack into a novel. A lot of writers have been inspired by her, and you can see it in their works. So I'm looking forward to this. Hadn't heard of it before, but now I'm glad I've got it.
I definitely have heard of The Driver's Seat. I feel like that's the one when I first started hearing about Muriel Spark. The Driver's Seat was the one I always heard about. So it's funny that you have not heard of it, but it is good that you can read it because I have not read
that,
it. So.
and it'll turn out that I actually probably read it 5 years ago and just forgot it.
Possibly.
We know who I am.
I'm the same thing. From the first bookshop we went to in Bristol, mine are all in jumbled order. Charlie's are in the correct order because Charlie is organised, and this Charlie just dumped them in a pile haphazardly. So I picked this up from the first bookshop we visited in Bristol, which actually the location of and the actual bookshop is so cool. It's Bookhaus. I loved this bookshop. This was like the calm. Saturday was a very busy and noisy day when we started and we ventured into Bristol. The very first bookshop we went to was Bookhaus, and it was just such a very chilled, quiet vibe, and it was just I just really, really loved the energy in there. And so I was looking for something as like a memento for the trip away, and I spotted this. And I don't really normally read short stories, as you know, Charlie, but I thought I would have this because I thought this would be the perfect thing to remind me of our trip away. And it's the 17th, I believe, volume 17th of this short story prize. I like the cover of this anyway. It's all the books and the buildings, and I like that.
Yeah, I do like a short story, especially at the moment now that it's become one of those things where I've been rather busy this year. And so there have been occasions where I have just gone and grabbed a short story just for a few minutes just to, at least fill that void of
Reading
not having
something.
read. Yeah. We went to this bookshop where most of the books were £5. And I'd actually left the shop. I'd wandered around it all, hadn't found anything. And then I looked in the window and I saw this book that I wanted. Went back in trying to find it and found it like at the last second. And then Charlie said she would have told me about it, but she thought I already had that. And that is Camp by Paul Baker. I have read Fabulosa by this author. Still haven't finished the next book, but yeah, I really enjoy Paul Baker's non-fiction writing. It feels very conversational. I find it easier to talk about, and I think that this one here is discussion around the term camp, where it came from, and what that means, and how it's developed throughout the centuries. And I need to get back into reading non-fiction, so I am pleased to have found this one.
Next book I picked up was again from the £5 shop, and it's called The Other Valley. The reason I picked this up was because Ben had a pile of possibilities beside him, and he was telling me about this one, which is about one valley is like from the past, and I think the other valley is for like the future or something like that, and then something about visiting both of them. He described it, and I was like, oh my gosh, this sounds amazing. As Ben always has a talent. I don't even think he actually ended up picking it up, which is hilarious. But it didn't matter because he'd sold it to me. So in the way that Ben does anything. This is what happens when you shop with Booktubers, because as soon as you go book shopping with Booktubers, anything anyone then starts talking about, you're like, oh, that looks so shiny, and you immediately then have to have it. And also one of the like blurby things is bringing with heart and hope, and it's going to knock your socks off. Which I'm not being funny. Like heart and hope, that's such a Charlie things.
Yeah, well, they're you, Charlie things.
Yeah, me Charlie things.
I have no hope left.
And there's pink on the cover, and it's very mountainous, and you can see the two sides of the time, and I think something happens in the middle as well, which I can't remember.
Well, generally, you want things to happen in the middle.
Yeah.
Well, there have been various times in the past where we've read books where they've got a beginning, they've got an end, but it seems like they missed out
the middle is rubbish.
Yeah.
If you have it, honestly, they drag out often. Sometimes the middle sections of books can be exceptionally
dull.
Laborious.
Yeah. This next book of mine now has a stain on it from where I accidentally killed a bug about 20 minutes ago. And that is Barrowbeck by Andrew Michael Hurley. And
I remember seeing this one.
Yeah, this was centuries. The inhabitants of Barrowbeck in this remote valley have lived uneasily with forces beyond their reckoning. And it said that it was folk horror, and I don't know, the sound of it, I read part of it, and it was in a font that I particularly like, and you know me, sometimes all it takes to get me to read a book is a good font. Folk horror, northern setting, that's all I needed, really.
And what book has that? Because I hadn't recognised Barrowbeck, but I had recognised the author.
They wrote The Loney.
And there was another one.
Starbaker.
Starbaker, that's the one, because that's the one I remember Jen reading.
And I know that they've got a book out in hardback at the moment as well.
The next one I picked up was another poetry collection. It's the last poetry collection, and it's actually my lovely friend Jack spotted it on the shelves in Mr. B's Emporium upstairs and said, Charlie, you need this book. So immediately I picked it up, and yes, it is poetry. And it's on the cover. So it's by Nikita Gill. It's The Angel of Redemption by Nikita Gill. I love Doctor Who. This is something that the two Charlies, we share the love of. I'm very excited to read it, and yeah, it's got Matt Smith, I believe, on the cover.
You think they're all about the 11th Doctor, don't you?
I think so, because it's from 2010, that's his era, isn't it?
Oh, okay. And it is all poetry.
Yeah.
Wow.
I hear it before I see it. I think there might be something about Weeping Angels, but I haven't read any of these.
No, the only reason I ask is because obviously around that time they were doing all of the books that were novels set within the series.
Oh, okay. Yeah. But yeah, I am excited because I love Doctor Who things like that. And the cover, oh my gosh, I feel like this is my favourite cover of all of the whole book haul.
It is a really nice cover.
I love a naked hardback.
I do. My next book is the last book that I purchased for the official Booktube trip, and then have others that I bought when I stuck around on the Monday. So that book is The Lady Upstairs by Jessie Allen. And I have been looking for this book for a while. And that is simply because the author was in Emmerdale.
Oh, I remember you saying that.
Yeah. And I found out about this book. It's femgore, and I'm not sure how I'm going to get on with that genre. But
the cover is amazing.
Yeah, the cover's amazing. The stuff behind it, I'm not even sure what the book's about properly, except that it's a scullery maid wanting to become a lady's maid, but she can't remember when she got to the hall. It talks about sinister twists and everything. I'm thinking we're going dark, we're going gothic, maybe even worse than gothic. So we will
something kind of sexy about it as well, something about the imaging. I don't know, the way they're leaning into each other. Is that a mirror? I do not know.
Well, it's a mirror. But the reflection,
someone's been scrubbed out.
Yeah, the reflection's all been scrubbed out with this red. So yeah, I don't know what we're getting into, but I'm looking forward to it.
My next book was the book I picked up from the gallery, and this is a book on the exhibit that we walked around. Specifically, myself and Keri. I walked around with Keri and Ben for a little bit as well. Just gonna name drop all the frigging booktubers, but
That's
whatever.
perfectly fine.
Um,
Let's name drop them. Let's get as many of them tagged.
There's this exhibition. I really loved the exhibition. I just felt like something in it really I connected. It touched my heart, and there was some themes to like when we as well, like to do with there's so many different things it covered, to do with the environment, to do with being mindful of like the phones, to do with like our activities with social media and all of those things, and being mindful of our own spaces. And then we went upstairs and we watched a video, and that had something to do with grief in it as well, which also touched my heart. So I was like, I just wanted to remember that. Again, I'm quite a memento kind of sentimental old person. So that's why I picked this up. It's by, like I said, Emma Talbot is who did the exhibition.
Yeah.
So I'm very excited
I can
to.
remember you like seeing you have that very emotional reaction and being like, clearly this art has done something for her that it hasn't done for me. But I have to say, it took me watching the video in that room to like properly appreciate all of the art that I'd seen leading up
Yeah.
to it. I didn't have as visceral and emotional as a response that you did.
I think the
But
video, like I was already feeling things, and I was already feeling very connected to because it's the work, but it's also like the words within the work, because that's what she did. She had these like circles which had all these words within it.
yeah,
So it was that combined with it, and then the discussions I'd had with Keri. I think it was just all of it combined. Just yeah, it just really affected me. I like that, so it's fine. So that's why I wanted a memento. But yeah, I can't wait to like actually read the proper details about it and sort of takes it again to take some more time and maybe possibly have a different experience with it. I do not know.
further the appreciation of it.
Yeah.
We've realised that I might have a few more books than Charlie, so I'm going to talk about a couple now. The first one that I got was on, like, we're on Monday now. Me and my mother stayed an extra day. As I keep telling people, I felt a bit bad about springing not only my dog on everyone at the weekend, but also my mother. That wasn't how it was originally.
Both of which I loved.
Oh yeah, like people were incredibly welcoming, and we're still, as I say, grateful to Ben for walking her back to the car, even though she did call him Dan. We said we'd stay another day, and he's 17, fantastic. So on the Monday, we went back and we visited some shops, but the first thing we went looking for was coffee. We did find it eventually, but not until after we visited a charity shop, and I found Long Island Compromise by Taffy Brodessa Akner. Someone's kidnapped in the 1980s. And I think it was the first line that really got me. Do you want to hear a story with a terrible ending?
That does sound very
And I'm
you.
like, yeah, okay, maybe I do. But I'd heard things about this book. I don't know whether I heard good things about this book. You know, when you just know that you've heard about it.
I feel like I have heard some good things. I
And sort
haven't
of
heard
like,
anything bad. I feel like was this one that was predicted for the Women's Prize this year.
I don't know.
It was one that was on people's prediction lists.
Right.
I think that's what I remember
It
hearing.
might have been eligible. I don't know. But it was simply that I'd heard about it. It was £2. And
There's a building on fire, so of course you're going to be drawn to it.
so I just thought I'd give it a whirl. And
Yeah.
then I returned to Toppings on Saturday when it was like hugely busy and all these people were running around and
It was chaotic in a nice way, in the best way.
yeah, it was great, but also like I felt like I couldn't go anywhere. So I
All the
returned.
bookshops were incredibly busy, which is lovely. I love that.
Yeah, so I went back on Monday and it proved to be the right thing to do. I understood what Katie meant when she said that it was her temple of books. And I also discovered the thriller section. As I said at the start of this video, I had been looking for Mary Stuart. Someone donated three of her titles to the charity shop where I work, and I got them. And I feel a bit like an 80-year-old woman now because it's the same lady who keeps donating them all, and I just keep picking them up when she donates them. But they're
That's cute
romantic
though.
novels from the 1950s. You and I both know that they've now been republished with much better covers than they were published with
Love the
at the
cover.
time. Yeah, like these covers are actually more fitting to what actually features in the books.
We are obsessed with those covers. I want that
Yeah.
to be noted because me and you, we had a morning, didn't we, where we were just
Oh,
looking up all the best covers.
yeah. And so all of these books by Mary Stuart were in the thriller section, and I hadn't seen them on Saturday, and I found them on Monday, and I had to stop myself from just taking the entire stock off the shelf and bringing them home with me because that would have been very expensive and I don't get paid till next week. But what I did instead was I read all of the blurbs. Some of them sounded somewhat similar to each other, some of them I already owned but couldn't recognize them because they were new covers. And I chose Touch Not the Cat by Mary Stewart.
I love
And
that.
in this one, we have Bryony Ashley returning to her ancestral home after her father dies in mysterious circumstances, and his final words were this cryptic warning to her. And so it says, what did her father's message mean? What lies at the center of the overgrown maze, and who is trying to prevent Bryony from discovering the truth?
Dun dun dun.
Yeah, and Lord Mary Stewart just she really does know how to write suspense and write really fast-paced novels. And I'm hoping that there isn't an odd romantic element, but I think there will because, like I say, Queen of Romantic Suspense. But very much looking forward to it. I say this about all of them. And then in the same section, I found Secrets in the Snow, which is another short story collection for Christmas, which is Christmas Crimes.
I'm
And
just going to look at it.
yeah, sorry. I read the other short story collection last month and really enjoyed it. So thought, well, I may as well get another one. I'm reading short stories in my spare time at the moment because I don't have a lot of spare time at the moment. So yeah.
You always tend to read them more in the autumn, winter anyway, because I'm sure this time of year, normally when we do our Christmas crackers, you say about your short stories.
Yeah, it's because I'm generally very busy at this time of year, and so it's the only way I can like get my fiction
But it does
craving
keep
in
you
a day.
consistently reading, doesn't it?
Yeah. So like if you don't have the time for a novel, head to a short story because like you're going to be able to finish a story in a few minutes there.
I mean,
And then
you do.
finally,
Takes me half an hour.
and then finally, I picked this book up because, well, basically, I didn't realize that the books that are published with these covers have all been different books. And so I got Lublin by Manya Wilkinson.
Oh, I did know this.
Basically, I've seen so many books that are like this where they're white with the writing on the cover, but I've not realized they're different books. And so
And
because
other stories.
yeah, from And Other Stories. And so I saw like one of them ages ago and thought, well, I don't like the sound of that book. So I just never picked up any of the other titles because I thought they were all the same book. And it was only with Ben telling us at the weekend that, well, telling me at the weekend that they are all different titles. Like, I don't want to point out that I am out of the loop when it comes to fiction, but I'm certainly out of the loop. This will have to improve in the new year. You know,
Because Heart Lamp won the International Booker, wasn't it? I'm fairly certain.
you're asking the wrong person, love. I have no
Yeah.
idea. I've only just
Heart
found
Lamp
out
won
that
the
this isn't the
International
book.
Booker, and there was an Alexis Wright one, Tracker, which was the same press, was listed for the Women's Prize for Non-Fiction this year. Long listed.
Like literally the only reason I picked this book up is that in the blurb it mentioned dead dogs and hemorrhoids,
Dead dogs would normally put you off a book.
but it mentioned hemorrhoids.
The hemorrhoids is what hooked you.
It was yeah, the hemorrhoid hooked me. So yeah, so that's the only reason that I picked up this book.
Maybe it's able to grab people, put people off. The next book that I picked up was from Toppings, and it was Cursed Daughters by Yinkin Braithwaite. So Yinkin Braithwaite wrote My Sister the Serial Killer, which was a book I loved, and I think it was listed for the Women's Prize one year. Again, I talk about the Women's Prize all the time. I love the Women's Prize. Everybody that's watching or listening.
Is this one of the books that has just been shortlisted for the Nero Prize?
It is.
Yeah.
I think it's for the fiction. It's for the fiction.
Well, yeah, but like, can we just commend me on the fact that I knew something about books for once?
I know.
Like, I willingly kept myself out of the loop about books for 8 years.
I was excited about the Nero Prize. I love the Nero Prize.
I was when I saw something that had been shortlisted in the non-fiction.
Oh, okay. We'll have to talk about that. That's fine.
Yeah, we'll talk about that off air
Another
chat.
time. Yeah.
Yeah.
So So I've read and loved one of her previous books. She's also published a few little short stories, which I have also purchased and loved. She writes typically very dark books with a slight sort of like, I don't know, like dark humor.
Yeah.
And I think this is like about cursed, obviously. I know this is like Kerr's family, Kerr's daughters. There's a little blurb on the back that says a bold and mysterious novel about family curses and women threaded together throughout time and folklore. So I think that is amazing. There is a little lizard on the front. I'm excited for it. Yeah, and like you said, it's listed for the longlisted for the Nero Book Prize. So I will be bumping it up even quicker. The next one I mentioned I actually showed on my channel recently on my latest video, which is I Hear Trees Speak, and it's by a non-fiction by Olivia Sprinkle. It is about like connecting with nature. She talks about it through obviously through trees, specifically. So yeah, one of the little things it said, this striking memoir demonstrates the catharsis of reconnecting with nature and how much we can learn from the remarkable existence of trees, which to me sounds amazing. I have not picked it up since I spoke about it yesterday, but I'm so excited to be listening to it.
Yeah.
What's your next book, Charlie?
This is actually my final book, and I saw it
not least
on the Saturday, and then I wasn't going to buy it, and then I went back to Mr. B's on Monday to purchase it, and that is Jesus Christ Kinski by Benjamin Myers. I had this author as one of my projects for the year to read all of their works. I haven't read all of his books, but this is his latest novel. Apparently, it's one of his more experimental novels, and I'm really looking forward to reading this one.
Edges.
I have literally no idea what it's about. A controversial actor, 50 years after a hypochondriac writer becomes fixated on video footage of the actor at his most manic, apparently. Yeah, I got told that it was signed on the day and I didn't realise, so there you go.
Nice. Because this is more than signed, it's got like a note in it.
Oh yeah, but I think that might be, I think that's in every one of them. It just says, you must not let yourself be used by such leeches, louses, and lickers of dirty arseholes. Jesus Christ did, and look what happened to him. Another knock at the dressing room door, swearing, 10 minutes, Mr. Kinski. So I think that's just a quote from the book. Having read that, I'm now like wondering, is it going to be a bit similar to Mother, what was it called? Mother Naked from earlier this year that I read.
Mother Naked, oh, okay.
Yeah, that's my last book.
The cover does terrify me.
It's a bit of a terrifying cover, and also this
really scares me.
This was the point with the books where I was like, "Oh, my bag is too heavy now." Like it felt like my arm was going to fall off if I purchased any more. But what was your last book, Charlie?
It is We Were the Universe by Kimberly King Parson. And the thing that grabbed me, that made me pick it up, was the little lines that said, horny, wickedly funny, and brutal. So that is what made me want to pick it up. I have seen this. Oh, sorry.
I was just saying, we are such different people. Like, you see horny, and you're like, oh my goodness, I need to read this book. I see hemorrhoids, and I'm like, oh my goodness, I need to read this book.
I think it was more the wickedly funny and brutal, but I don't mind the horny. I'm not addicting the horny. Well, it's true. That's the reason I picked it up. It was the wickedly funny and brutal, and then the horny is just a bonus.
I'm not disputing that. I'm not disputing that, but I'm just like,
that's true.
Like, this is a brilliant introduction to us. Like,
as readers.
Like, literally.
And this was from the £5 bookshop.
If we were on a reality show, that would be your tagline. Like, that's how you get introduced. You will get introduced every episode like that.
What, wickedly funny and brutal?
No, horny is just a bonus.
I mean, yeah.
Goodness me. Like, honestly, I feel like you can always tell when it's late in the day with the Charlies because we become so silly.
I feel like there's never a point where we're not silly. Having spoken to you for many, many years, there is never a point where we're not silly.
Oh, goodness me. Well, they're the books. How long do you think it's going to take us to read all of them?
We don't know, like a year.
Oh, yeah. I'm literally looking at the, like, what? 2 of these books I'm planning on reading in December.
3 of these books I'm planning on reading in December. No, 4. No, 3. No, 4. I don't know.
Yeah, some of them are definitely going to be next year. As I said earlier, the shorter books I think I'll go for in January, but otherwise, I think, well...
What's your book? If you had to pick 3, well, no, not 3, because I've already started one, 4 bookish priorities, what will be your 4?
The Benjamin Myers.
Yeah.
The Christmas short stories.
Yeah.
The Mary Stuart. and the Andrew Macmillan.
I think these four are mine. I've got obviously that's one I've already started.
Yeah.
That's one I've already started. I'm desperate to read this because it's got two. And I feel
What
like
if
this will be perfect close to Christmas. I know you said in the new year, but I'm gonna read it close to Christmas.
I didn't? I said Christmas.
What did you? I can't
Yeah.
tell. Okay.
If you're wondering what I'm talking about, then please do watch our Christmas cracker video when it airs in a week.
Oh yes. Exciting. And then this one I just want to read probably when
Yeah,
I have a
I,
minute.
I'm really looking forward to your thoughts on that one, actually. Anyway,
Thank you
that's
all for
cool.
watching. If you've watched this far, do we
Yeah,
say that?
what she said.
And if you want to put, because we are on YouTube currently, I can say that now, can't I? If you want to put an emoji in the comment, put a flower.
I think that people got a really good idea of who the Charlies are and what they can expect going forward.
Have you had fun?
I am shocked at the places we went to,
Yeah, me too.
and that's usually how a conversation with you goes. I'm glad that we were
Ditto.
representing Christmas today with our red and our green.
Oh, we are inadvertently. So everybody prepare because the video after this will be the beginning of the
Yeah,
Christmas crackers
our Christmas crackers are soon to be here. Uh,
launching on the 3rd.
Launching on the 3rd of December and taking you through the month until Christmas itself. We have so much in store for you, and do not forget that in the new year, we will hopefully properly have this going as a fully professional podcast because that's just who we are. We are two professional Charlies, two proper Charlies. And that's all I got to say about that because
Thank you for watching.
because
Goodbye.
ta